round 9, the Australian Grand Prix. Quite a small field today, of only 15 cars. Quite a few drivers weren't able to make it, and not many reserves were able to make it. So smaller than usual field, but I'm sure the racing will be just as good. As we begin qualifying now, it is time for the Australian national anthem. So that was the Australian national anthem.
As we watched James go through the last corner to finish off his lap, what time will it be? A 20.4.
That is a very good lap. Let's quickly send a link to the drive for the drivers to
Robert Dornbos.
What's happened there?
Oh, but a driver did go off.
It is Tom with major wing damage.
He's lost his wing.
He's hit the wall hard.
I'm gonna ask now what the weather forecast is.
It's looking quite gloomy actually for qualifying, but who knows for the race.
As Fairs started his lap. As it is a wet race, I can confirm it's a wet race.
Ooh.
At the end it's
Things
drying
just
up.
got interesting.
This is not
when was our last
Thomas
wet race?
Want?
Like, yeah, a lot of
Canada,
a lot of the more underdog. Yes, well, Belgium had rain. It wasn't much of it. Bogdan, he messed up his first lap. I watched. Oh, and he's got no wing at all. Bogdan very much struggling at this stage.
Most likely to be in the relegation playoff race.
Yes, only with 1 point so far this season.
Though he's still doing just as well as Thomas, who finally broke the Red Bull curse. As Fairs hasn't been able to get a lap in.
Thomas has said it's dry. Tim has said it's wet.
Where did Thomas?
Just above when you said it. Just above when you asked, he says, dry all. Then he says thank you, because he liked the dry.
He might have meant quali. Kyle
this is dry all.
As Robert on the hard tyres. Is it just on my screen that says that Robert is on the hard tyres?
It says that on my screen as well. He's out on track and they are hard tyres on the car.
So he comes round in his Renault to start his lap. Or does he?
He goes fifth.
No, he did slow down the whole lap. But he's not using any ERS.
It's unusual from Robert, but maybe these are just banker laps.
We are going to watch Frelison on his lap. In the racing point, Buller has joined.
Bit late.
He will get
but he's in time for the
race.
He'll go in the top car, so won't be in the Toro Rosso.
He will be in the for Red Bull.
Yep. And
it's near enough, as Forever Sim goes purple middle sector as he invalidates.
Ooh. Okay, here's a question for you. What team should Buller's points go to? Seeing as he is a reserve driver.
He's technically being... Because Red Bull don't have a driver, so he's just practically being
so he is now as a reserve as Red Bull. Now let's get the YouTube stream up.
As now we watch... Ooh, Buller's left.
That's not great. Don't know what's happened there.
I will put in the chat, can someone invite Buller?
I did not send him another invite, so... I know, I have sent him another invite, so he might have a spare one.
As we now watch Tom on his lap, I'm sorry, I didn't see if he went purple or anything. He is low on fuel.
Robert is now on a push lap. I can confirm. Still on the hard tyres though. He's got his teammate behind him.
As who was that went in? Godzilla P4. As now Tom comes across the line. P3.
Those top 3 drivers next season could be a great title battle.
As Thomas P5.
That's a strong lap, but I know he can go a lot quicker than that, so he's got room to improve, for certain.
As there's yellow flags in sector 1, that is a McLaren.
It is. It's a racing point, I think, actually.
I thought
that was.
Yeah.
A racing point is just let a Red Bull go through, so I thought that would be what it was, but.
It is Tom letting through Thomas. Yes, this could be a strong weekend for McLaren. As Alpha only have Max Mulder in the car.
As a reserve driver, as Robert is going to cross the line and go to a 25.1.
Oh, James 20.1.
That's a strong lap. That gives him a bit of a margin to the other top drivers.
Wait, did you just say that?
What?
Did you literally just say as James comes across the line for a 20.1?
No, Robert 25.1. James got a 20.1. Bit of a margin there, difference of 5 seconds. Hopefully Robert pits this lap. As Fairs goes second.
Fairs.
Making a Mercedes front row lockout, what it should have been in Britain actually, if the race wasn't cancelled. Proud to say I would have been P4, but of course, race cancelled, didn't get a chance.
I'm happy that we didn't replace Melbourne with Britain in the end, as Yana goes P5.
Strong lap there from Yano into the 20s. I'd say if you want a chance at being the front runner, or at least being maybe in the fight for some solid points, you want to be in those in the 120s, just to sort of to prove your speed.
Let's have a look at everybody's
Kyle going up into 5th now.
Thomas down in P8.
There is a Williams going slowly, and it is Yano. He's got no damage. Maybe I think he's out of fuel, which would show maybe his lap time was maybe too good. Oh no, he looks good on fuel. He's just coasting.
As Kimi comes across the line, quite a slow lap with a down in P10.
Anyone on a fast lap at this stage?
Colpo? Nope.
I don't think there is anyone at this stage of the session on a fast lap. F1 coming back next week. I feel like season 2 of Torpedo League has ended at the perfect time. It ends just as the new Formula 1 season begins, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
And then we have that big gap for us to sort of, we can all put our time and effort, because the new season will start on 8th of August, for F1, 7th for F2.
Is Kyle going to commentate on the playoff races?
I imagine he's best suited, as he's the only commentator I can think of that I know that won't be in the playoff race. Yeah, because all the other people
unless
I can think of
outscores me by 3 points in the next race.
Which is possible. But I know you're quick. I like how we're just at least when we go off topic, it's about motorsport. It's still about Torpedo. But nothing's happening on track, so we can say yay with F2 Trident teammates, and we're doing really well.
And we
Trying to
both won a
secure the
race
team's
last
championship.
weekend.
Yes, as Buller's back
Buller
in.
isn't.
That's good to see.
As Tim is on the lap time. On a lap time is on a lap. Can he go purple in the first sector? He cannot.
He's a 10th up. He's a 10th up on his best.
It's dry apparently.
That's weird. I guess we'll find out when
I
race
think they're trying
starts.
to twist with us.
I don't know.
Because Thomas did say that if it's wet, he'll say it's dry, didn't he? Just to confuse us.
Yeah, because yesterday in the F2 race, none of us told them that it was going to be a wet feature race. So they could be trying to trick us here. So weather could be anything for the actual race. Who knows what it could be? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
How fast are the lap times?
What do you mean?
How fast is James compared to, do you think he's using a dry setup?
Yes. I would say so. Which is actually a good point.
And
Buller's left.
As Tim comes P1!
Whoa, a 19.8! A 19.8! That is an amazing lap time.
As we watch Tom, who is currently 2 tenths up on his lap.
That is one of the best laps I've ever seen. Okay, can James do any better?
I'm just going to watch Tom finish his lap time, and then we will flick over to James.
You focus on Tom, I'll focus on... Oh, James has spun! He's just about kept it on track. He's gone into the grass there, and he's back, and he's going again.
Tom comes across the line, P3.
Goes P3.
Only
Quite
300
back to James.
off of James.
Has James got enough time to go for one more lap?
Yeah.
He's 1.4 seconds down now.
Yeah, he'll have
He'd have to pit at the end of this lap. He's going to have to pit at the end of this lap, I think. Because he probably went out of fuel.
He's not got any fuel warnings, he should be fine.
Yeah, but a max lap is about 2 laps, I'm guessing.
Thomas hasn't gone out yet.
What is Thomas doing?
Robert on the mediums.
It's hard. I feel like it is most likely going to be dry looking. Oh, his Tim's off there, but he's just letting the car through.
Yeah, why would Robert
lap times
be on mediums if it was wet?
Yeah.
If it was dry, sorry. As he pits.
Look at the lap times. They're dry setups. There's no way you could do a 19.8 on a wet setup.
Oh, forever spin round.
And that is forever spin.
Forever spin has spun.
Oh, this is...
We're bullies.
I kind of, in some areas, I kind of hope that Ferguson does drop down so that we can continue to commentate on him.
That's mean.
Oh, it's like, I want him to stay up to the for the battles, but I'll miss making the forever spin jokes.
I hope Thomas stays up if I go up.
Believe. I don't really mind. I don't know if Thomas and I would be near each other on track.
I think Thomas and I would.
Well, you have 5 more points than him so far this season, and you've done 2 races to his many. Racing points backing up in the pit lane there. Bears is currently about to start a lap, I believe. Riceman is in. I guess he's going to be a reserve.
My championship rival. As we get a YouTube comment, what is this? First comes across the line, cannot improve. As Scott says, he's going to have forever spin on his Forever Sin says he's going to have forever spin on his gravestone.
Yes. that is a wise choice.
No, his gravestone just say Forever Sin, and then just a little bit of writing under it. Always spinning, as Fez is a 10th up on his lap time. Gonna need to get 4 tenths out somewhere to beat.
I think Buller may have used up his extra invite that I sent him, which would explain perhaps why he hasn't rejoined again.
He has.
Has he joined it again?
Yeah, I saw him.
One of the other drivers must have invited him. Is it me or does the track look kind of wet? Just from an above view, because the light and it being quite foggy.
Yeah, but James isn't going to have enough time to go out to get another lap in.
You are right, he isn't. Could be a timing glitch. We've had them before. That is very much possible.
Look at the
amount on an look at the amount that are on a out lap. There wouldn't be that many drivers who make that mistake. So I'm not going to make the same mistake I made in Austria last season. Ooh, Fairs just ahead of his teammate. Could have a good race now. Hopefully we don't see Tim run away from it again.
No, he's not. As Bogdan is the only one to be in the pits.
Kimmy is lagged out.
What is Tim doing?
I think he's out of fuel, probably.
No, he isn't.
No, he doesn't look like it.
Oh, he's giving Robert a slipstream.
The Renault teammate's very good.
I see what James about to start his lap. Kimmy's back in.
Kimmy is joined. That is why there's a checkered flag. That isn't actually the checkered flag out. That's just because he's in the pit box, I'm guessing. Or is there a checkered flag when James crosses the line? It is not the end of the session yet. So Kimmy will be able to race.
Codemasters.
Yes.
Oh, there's
a car around. That is Smilett's Kyle. He is backwards at turn 1. He is not going to improve on his lap.
Don't do what I did, Smile. Oh, and that's Colpo as well.
As that is not what you want, and he is apparently crossed the checkered flag, which is a bit weird.
As James is 3/10 up.
I think a few people were too late to leave the garage because Colpo, he had the checkered flag before he's crossed the line, which means he was on an out lap. The game checkered flags you automatically. You haven't started the lap yet. So let's keep an eye. I'm gonna keep an eye on James at this stage. I'm on board with him at this stage. Let's see.
I'm using
the next time.
Fan cam.
Yeah. He is 1/10 up. Will it be enough?
I don't think it will, unless he can improve drastically in the last sector.
I don't think he's going to get pole.
There are yellows.
That is for the Alfa Romeo of Max, yeah. As I don't think James can get pole, but I think he can get second back. Oh, it's Max's round. Oh, that was close. As that maybe distracted James enough for him to maybe make an error.
As James now comes through.
And it is a second place. 2 temps up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you guys have ever. I don't know if you've seen this. And any of the viewers. When you go on board with James, his laps never. No offense to James, but his laps don't look quick from an onboard view. As Kyle backing obviously crossed the line. As that is the end of qualifying.
If you got points
James
for qualifying, then Thomas would have doubled the amount of points he currently has in the championship. As here are the quali results. Would you like to go through them, Jackson?
Yes. Tim is on pole by half a temp.
Why has he got an Estonian flag? Sorry.
I quite like I like that colour scheme, but that probably isn't the reason why he's got the Estonian flag. James in second, Fairs in third to make it Mercedes 2-3. Tom in 4th for Racing Point, Jarno in 5th for Williams. Colpo in 6th for Ferrari. They're desperate need of points. Ferrari, they had a bad season. Godzilla is in 7th in the McLaren. Kyle in 8th in the Haas. Robert in 9th in the Renault. And Thomas up in 10th place. And the final top 10
are irrelevant.
Yes.
So we have 6 viewers. Hello, everyone. Clint is in. We got our.
Yep, he sent a message. What was his message?
I'm here, boys.
Oh, was that it? You asked me to check the chat for that. Was that really worth it, Clint? As we get ready for the formation lap now.
Excited for EDL starting?
Very. Incredibly. Can't wait to be beaten by Joe, the Wood, Boastman, and Bracket Cap all over again. Bracket Cap isn't in. Oh, his Bully's joined too late. That's too late, I think. If his AI's on the grid, but it's unlikely. I believe that does mean Riceman is now in the Red Bull, so that's nice. Got a Red Bull reserve. So I believe we now have 16 cars, unless Bullet is able to get onto the grid.
Yes, and it was. Please promote me coming back to Torpedo League.
Oh yeah.
As Riceman's in the house.
Okay, can I ask the drivers to remember how a formation lap works? Because at this rate, we're going to have to start actually enforcing formation laps. I'm fed up with the Renaults pulling away and everyone starting it like it's a start. Now maybe it's because you haven't seen F1 for a while and you don't know how a formation lap works. But you go one at a time.
Robert is staying in the correct position. Oh no, he's not.
No, the day a Renault stays in the correct
Colpo
position is
dives
the day
it down
that
the inside of Robert.
2 cars already on the grid.
That is Branny.
Yeah. The driver, formerly known as Joshy Smith from the first few rounds of the season, his real name is Clint. He will be coming back in the form of Trigger, and he'll be back for the final 2 rounds.
12, is it?
I knew that he would always be coming back, 2K20 I believe. I always knew he'd be coming back, that's why he was never replaced in the league, only given reserve drivers in his place. So he needs to really work his...
Magic.
Just work very hard, in the final 2 rounds to get in, just stay out of the playoffs, or just stay, even if he gets in the playoffs, then he's going to have to fight. If he gets in the playoffs, no offense to him, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay up. Because I'm thinking the drivers that, like, the top 5 F2 guys, they're probably quick enough to beat him. And if not, there's bound to be at least one of the F1 guys that's in there.
Do you think I am?
Can probably beat him. Yes.
I think I'm quick enough to beat Wilbo and Dammers.
Yeah.
And
he was just really... Clint was just really unlucky with the early season with just not getting a clean racing. Like Abu Dhabi made like 6 pit stops and still managed to finish P13. But that race is a bit of a messy one, really. But, as season openers tend to be. And yes, the season opener in Abu Dhabi.
Probably not, lol, none taken.
Yes, we are now lining up on the grid. Who is your prediction? Everyone in the chat and Charlie, who is your prediction for the race win?
I'm gonna go with Tim again.
Okay, I'm gonna go for something different. I'm gonna go for someone that's never won a race. I'm gonna go with Tom.
I'm gonna go with Thomas.
Oh no. Bold prediction, Thomas will score a point. Maybe Thomas can actually stay in the point position for the whole race. To be fair, maybe this time he can actually get the point not on penalties, but actually on track.
What was that, another comment? P1
Clint
James,
says,
P2 Fairs, P3 Tim.
So you're saying the Mercedes going to get the jump on the Renault? It's definitely possible.
If the grid actually wants to reform...
Yeah, that's 2 drivers who are annoying. So I think it might be... Is Branny one of them? I believe Branny is not one of them. But as we now get ready to go...
What?
As I need to get telemetry up to see these are not the actual lights.
Real lights.
It's been a while since we've had this glitch. As now we're getting ready, the revs rise.
My revs aren't... Oh, now they are. It's lights out, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. As James has already got Tim. What a start from James.
That is very good. As Fair's had a look at Tim.
As there's more carnage on at the
losing
back.
Any places. I'll keep an eye on the back drivers.
Robert.
It's Freverson around! Freverson has spun! Oh,
has he got wing damage? Great. He has.
That is not the lap one he needed.
Neither with Robert.
Godzilla has forced Kyle off track. Colpo is going to get him. Could Branny even get him? Branny going around the outside of him. The former teammates earlier this season. Thomas could have a look at Branny now. As Thomas going to go up the inside of Branny.
Down the inside for the Red Bull.
Bogdan's going to go for him now. Bogdan's going to try and get into P10 here. This isn't something you see every day. As Bogdan fighting, Bogdan is in P10.
Down the inside. Oh, and is there contact? Oh, and that's Kimmy on the grass.
That is Kimmy off track there. Max up to P12 there.
That's Tim now, right on the back of James.
These drivers so close.
Is that Tom? That's Tom.
Oh no, my prediction for the win has spun it, I believe. I'm guessing that, or maybe he's just lost the rear enough to lose so many places. It's not what you want to see. Probably in 7th position so far on lap 1. Bogdan up into P9 now, he's gained 6 places on the start. That's an outstanding start there from Bogdan. As James leads the race. His time fight with Tim.
Battles. Bogdan's close to Thomas. Oh, he's gone deep.
Check something.
Branny's right on the back of Bogdan now. Will he make a move? He's pulled to the outside. But Bogdan breaks later. As Bogdan keeps the position.
I've just realised James can win the title today.
What does he need?
Well, he's currently, as long as he doesn't lose, well, as long as he beats Tim, he can win it. All he needs to do is beat Tim. Doesn't matter if
Tim with a big mistake.
Ooh, he's just about kept his nose on that car then. Could Fairs maybe have a look at him. But as long as James beats Tim, he's got the title.
Tim cuts the corner a bit there, surely a warning.
Tim is dropping back. This could be the day that he seals title number 2. This could be the day. I didn't realise it.
Oh, and Bogdan and Tom have swapped positions, and Branny and Bogdan, getting very close to each other.
Bogdan really wants to get the points. He's only got 1 point so far this season.
He's
all
fighting
the points
very hard for it.
And I don't blame him. He needs the points. You're going to go move there, Branny. Very good.
Can Max Mulder get a move on Branny, though?
Jarno currently staying very close to the top guys. Perhaps he'll think about a move at some stage. Who knows? Colpo going for the outside on Godzilla.
Does he break later? He does. He hangs it around the outside. Now the inside, but he's just
Godzilla maintains the pace.
As Bogdan and Branny have swapped position.
And Bogdan does look like now he is out of the points, but any more contact up the road and he could get... Oh, nearly lost it. Oh, is he going to go for the move? No, he isn't. He's going to be
centered. He didn't lose it, he moved to the inside, as Colpo and Godzilla are very, very close. But Thomas with a nice gap.
Kimmy on the back of Robert. Oh, is that battling Max and Riceman? 2 F2 drivers who are racing as reserves today. What are they going to do here?
Oh, as Robert joins in. Down the inside.
Oh, more spun. Riceman had no need, like Robert wasn't really, I didn't see that very well, but it didn't look like he necessarily deserved the space.
Oh, I flicked a
as wide goes Riceman. Riceman's off, Robert gets him. Will Kimmy get him? Kimmy gets him, Riceman back down to 15th.
Ferguson just hit the wall. Fair's with the fastest lap of the GP, but I think his wing's still intact. It is.
That is good. These top guys are very
wide,
close.
And so is Robert. What's their contact? I do not know. As Tom
now wants to get past Thomas.
As Riceman has done a U.
Oh, for God's sake. As Colpo up to 5th place.
Oh, and Colpo goes wide. Can Kyle join in the action now?
It looks close.
As Tom is very close to the back of Thomas as well.
Yes, that's going to be a fun battle, isn't it? Tom versus Thomas.
Oh no, I had to commentate with Kimmy and Kimmy.
Yeah, to be fair, that is worse. For one race, Thomas and Kyle in F2 had to commentate with a Jack and a Jackson, so... And we did actually I did overtake him at one point, so... And we actually did have a few battles. I think we had 2 battles.
As Thomas is now close to the battle for P5.
Thomas is a quick driver. Just needs to show it. As Kyle a bit wide
James
there.
And Tim. Oh, James is round!
James is around!
He had contact with Tim. That's a third race in a row.
As that's James down to P6. Is Thomas going to get him? Is Thomas going to get James here? Does not look like it. But now James stuck in his battle for P4 now it is. It looks like to me that Thomas may be struggling with his rear tyre temperatures.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Losing the rear end a lot. Will Tom go for a move? He will not. As there was contact for the 3rd race in a row between Tim and James.
As Colpo and Godzilla are going wheel to wheel again into turn 3. Colpo and gets the move.
As well.
And Bogdan's done he's left a session, which is probably also a me as well. But that is leaving without retirement. Lagged out in China, which arguably cost me at least a podium, maybe even the win. As look at the gaps between these top guys, Jarno, this has hurt him a bit. Although Fairs, this has helped him a lot. His teammate's trouble has just allowed him the DRS to no DRS advantage on Tim.
There is a massive battle for P4 right now.
Could this be Fairs' 2nd race win
as
chance
Tom
here?
Goes to the inside of Thomas, makes the move.
It's a good move. I'm going to keep an eye on these top 2. You focus on the midfield, I've got an eye on these. Fairs, he's staying on the back of Tim.
I mean, we got Riceman instead. Yeah, just let us know after the race if you want.
Fair's not quite close enough still. Why isn't he gearing up to 8th? I do not know. Oh, Fair's nearly loses it there. Not quite able to get him.
James looks like he's stuck behind Kyle under that.
Yano,
as Thomas has got past
to catch.
Tom.
Oh, that is a good move there. That is a surprising move,
As
I'd say.
Max Mulder, Robert and Kimmy. Max Mulder was on the grass. But Kimmy has made the move. As James is now very close to Kyle, will he send a move? As Kyle's lagging a bit on my screen.
I think both lagged then.
Oh, it's Kimmy and Max Mulder are...
Oh, that's Branny! Branny and Thomas! Thomas is around! And Branny's been given a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision. And Thomas is out of the points. That could be a big... That's Kyle! Kyle was around!
The two F2 commentators spinning on the same lap.
Oh, and he's hit Robert! He's pushed Robert off there. That's a bit dangerous there from Kyle. As Kyle is struggling, has he got wing damage? Yes, he does.
Thomas goes to the inside. Makes a move. He's back in the points. As Tim is in.
That's Tim in the pit lane. Defending from that undercut, surely.
James only just gets him. But Yano now, 1.1 seconds off Fairs.
Thomas in the pit lane, Kyle also in the pit lane.
Thomas has done you as well! Why is everyone speeding in the pit lane? Any on-track action currently? James is close to Godzilla. Oh no. I feel like there's gonna be a couple clips sent in today. I want to know what happened with Branny and...
Yeah, all I saw was Branny, and all I noticed at first was Branny at the side of the track, and then I just saw Thomas backwards. Then that was the moment that I realised that maybe today isn't Thomas's day.
Thomas has had 2 collisions so far.
I think Thomas is definitely quick enough to get out of relegation, but the issue is he may still, even if he gets into the playoffs, he may still be relegated purely because of how quick the F2 guys are. Even though there may be slower drivers than him.
He can beat Dammers, Wilbo.
What tyres did Tim go to? Tim went to hards. Fairs must be going to the mediums. It's possible. I've done a league race. Now, I personally went to the hards, so I'm terrible at tyre.
James.
However, the race winner and all the top guys in that race, the 2 drivers who beat me,
as well.
Both of them did medium and soft. It is the quicker strategy if you can make it work.
Where is Thomas going to come out?
So I think Fairs definitely could win this race.
And
I would like to see Fairs win this race. And that is Robert pitting for hards.
I don't think Thomas is close enough to overtake.
And James also pits for the hard tyres.
Any on-track battles? No, there is not. Apart from Smile and Thomas, actually. Kyle on the grass a bit.
Can't Kyle get him?
Sorry about the yawn.
Who do you think is going to win out of this battle, Kyle versus Thomas? I'd say Kyle's quicker, but
Thomas is good at defending.
I don't think he's... Yeah,
but
I don't think Kyle's quick enough.
They can't hold each other up.
If I'm Kyle, both these guys are on a recovery drive. So, if I'm Kyle at this stage, I'm thinking, let's maybe sit behind him and we'll both catch up.
In.
What will they pit? If they pit onto the hards, then it was a waste of time, and they do. I know it's medium. Wait, no, what is it? Is it medium? Is it hards? It's hards.
What about Yano? Onto the hards as well.
You can do a soft to mediums. I've seen it done.
Maybe that's what Branny's trying. As there's yellow flag sector 1, that's Max Mulder.
Where is Fairs compared to Timmy is quite a bit back. The Fairs has only lost time from doing it.
Timmy is on medium tyres.
Did he start on those? I think he may have started on those
Oh,
tyres.
it's Branny and Tom. Tim, sorry. Ooh! Branny almost spins him. Well, that makes it sound like Branny's lost a bit of contact.
Max has brake issues, so he's going to have to go into Ghost to go into AI mode to try and fix it. So that'll be a loud AI mode. As this could be a good battle here, Tim versus Branny.
Branny
Tim
on
needs
the
to get
soft,
past quick.
Tim on the hards.
But
Fairs
Branny
is
on
going to
very
have
old
fresher
softs.
tyres.
I can speak from experience that old softs here,
That's Tim with a 3-second time penalty.
Old softs here, they hurt. They are really bad. As Tim goes to the inside line and Branny lets him through.
Branny doesn't really fight it unless...
That isn't a battle he can win. Unless he maybe wants to let DRS back down the main straight. But
that's James and Godzilla. So the two leaders of this league battling with the McLarens. As Robert and Tom are close. Is Branny gonna pit? He is not.
Oh, Kyle nearly lost it then again. Kyle's really not enjoying this race, neither is Thomas, to be honest.
Thomas is still in a net P10.
Those who haven't stopped are Kimmy and Branny, the only two there.
Yeah, so he's in P9 then.
I feel like Branny could be the guy to get a surprise result here and go to the mediums. Because it is the quicker strategy.
As Godzilla's close to James. But I don't think there's going to be any moves there. As Robert and Tom...
Oh, Branny nearly loses it. Branny's really struggling on his tyres.
Sorry, my headphones just come me. Can you last 19 laps on the mediums?
If you
He's lasted
tyres,
10 laps on the softs.
If you protect your tyres, then yes. I've seen it done. I was in a league race where a lot of drivers went softs to hards. 2 drivers went soft to mediums, but they actually, one of them went medium to soft, the other went soft to medium, and they were the top 2 in that race.
So Thomas with a penalty. Could we see Kimmy and Branny on the top steps of the podium?
No.
Fairs now is
the fact that he's already behind them before his pit stop makes me think no.
Yeah. As Kyle with a penalty as well.
Colpo
close to the back of Kimmy. Will Kimmy let him through without putting up a fight? He won't.
As Fairs is only one warning away from a penalty. So if he doesn't get another warning, he's won the race.
So
that's where it's sort of close.
Has 1 penalty. Fairs has none. Branny has a 5-second. Yano has 1 warning. Colpo has a warning. Kimmy has a warning. James has 2 warnings. Godzilla with 3 warnings, very close to a penalty. Tom with a penalty and a warning. Robert with none. Thomas is with a 5-second time penalty and a penalty and a 3-second.
P3 now.
As Tom with another penalty. But will Thomas's penalty be removed? Probably, since he looked like the victim for the collision with Branny.
I think they both got penalties for that, so it depends who caused it.
If Thomas was the victim, we will remove it. Surely Branny must pit now. His tyres must be dead. Yes, he does.
And he does.
Let's have a look. Where will Thomas come out? He's far back. Will he come out ahead of Branny?
Branny dropping down the order rapidly now.
He goes to the mediums. It's going to be tight between Thomas and Branny. Oh, Thomas goes deep.
Branny's going to be on those mediums.
As he is serving his fire. Oh no, he's changing his wing. Oh yeah, Thomas served his penalty in the pit lane.
No, he didn't. Oh, what, the collision penalty?
Yeah.
Then yes. The speed in the pit lane penalty he would not have.
Oh no, that's what it would have been. Speeding in the pit lane, sorry. Yeah, that's what it was.
What do you mean?
It wasn't for the collision, it was for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, then he wouldn't have served that then.
And you can't take it off if you blatantly.
Yeah, you can't serve.
Unless
you can't
it's
pit
a
it.
glitch.
You can't serve it on the same penalty in the pit.
And you are going the
serve.
correct limit, and it gives you a penalty anyway.
We don't usually remove those anyway, because the game, sort of, it's more precise than we are, so.
Yeah, but if you're going like 30 miles per hour, there's yellow flags that just.
That's a Ferrari. It's Colpo round. Colpo has crashed.
Thomas is too far back to get him, but will he have to pit? Does he have a wing? No, he does not.
He has bad wing damage. Colpo's gonna have to pit. That's gonna take him out the points.
That's the number I was gonna use for EDL, but then I decided to use 66.
What number?
22.
Any reason why you'd pick 22?
Button and Lewis.
Good choice.
As yes, Colpo's in, so Thomas would be promoted to P8 after pit stops, as he is on yellow fuel. As James catches up to Kimi and overtakes him. So currently, James is 11 seconds off of Tim. Can he catch it? I don't think so.
As Kyle is going for the move now on Thomas. He's going up the inside and he's made the move work.
Thomas will
can he though?
Back.
No.
As
Thomas
he taps him.
Down.
As Colpo's round again after coming out of the pit. Because he had a collision with Rice Man.
Ooh.
No, I'm just gonna stick with. Yeah, I don't know. Jackson, should I go with 22 or 66?
I would say 66.
Yes, okay, because 6 is my favourite number. So
there you go.
I'm gonna stick with 66. I don't know, there's just a connection with 22, but I am going to stick with it.
Well, it's up to you.
And I'm gonna get
I think 66 is more unique.
Printed on my trident. He shows in there's a yellow flag sector 1. That's
it's Tim! It's Tim! It's Tim! And it's Jarno! And it's Jarno as well! Fairs takes the lead. I can't
James
believe
comes
it.
Through. Wheel to wheel. James makes the move on Tim as they lap Bogdan's ace-connected.
What has happened there?
Yeah, 66 it is. Oh,
that
wow.
Is...
Controversial?
Did you catch that on stream?
No, I didn't. I was looking. As Yana has no wing. I was watching Thomas and Kyle. But now we have a juicy battle between Tim and James.
And Fairs looks set to win the race. He's got an 8-second lead.
Also, Clint, I changed my PlayStation name, so it's not confusing anymore.
Can Tim get James back down the straight?
I said Fairs, didn't I? Or was that on Thomas's thing?
You said Tim.
Oh yeah.
I said Tom. Oh, Tim's round again.
Oh no.
He's in the wall.
He's got end-plate damage. Can Kimmy get him? Can Godzilla get a podium here? Will he pit? He will.
Tim does pit. Tim's chance of a podium.
And
surely down the toilet. Godzilla could get a podium here. When Kimmy pits, Godzilla will be the driver. Like in third position. That's not something I was expecting. Could Tom get the podium? Tom may be too far back.
He's only 3.4 seconds off, and we know how fast Tom can be. As Thomas up into P8, he's in a net P7 so far as Travis spin.
Has retired and virtual safety car. And he has done it, and that's at the high-speed chicane on the exit of there. That's where he's done it. The next car to go through there will be Fairs. Hopefully the car doesn't disappear before Fairs gets there.
It hasn't disappeared yet. It's going to disappear the moment we get there, isn't it?
Fairs, maybe push the tail for a bit. Get there.
Switch to... Yeah,
there is... Oh, that's a massive crash. Both left-hand side wheels gone.
How do you...
If that caused a safety car, that would have changed this race completely.
He may have tried to catch a spin.
I think he's just lost... I really don't know.
Yeah, because if you lose the back end there, you're not gonna end up like that.
Unless he's spun it into the right-hand side wall and he's bounced out of that into the... So
yeah,
that it then
that wouldn't
to the other
happen,
side.
surely. You can't bounce that far in this game.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll ask as we are back
to racing.
Thomas 6/10 off Kyle. Or Robert 6/10 off Tom. Robert for a podium, maybe.
It's possible. I would take my. I want to see Godzilla on that podium. I would like to see him up there.
He was on the podium after Canada, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
As Thomas is very close to the back of Smile, it's Kyle.
Unless Kimi could surprise us all and be that quick in his second stint.
No, I don't think he will. Let's have a look at the gap. So, yes, Kimi is 18 seconds ahead of Smile, it's Kyle and Thomas. So, can they get him? Is he as Jarno with a penalty?
Yeah,
are they...
from what I'm seeing, Jarno and Tim are just trying to get points. Was there contact there, maybe? Because I think so. Tim is spun. I believe Tim is spun and Jarno's hit Tim is spun in car, because they weren't that close on track.
Yeah, I think he got on the bump, Scott.
I think for the second time this season, so it happened at Monaco and it's happened here.
As Thomas goes around the outside of Kyle, backs out of it.
I think this could be the second time that Jarno has been caught up in someone else, one of the other top guys' incidents, and then
wasn't it Thomas last time?
It was Tim. It was Jarno in Monaco. It was, I think, James spun, and all the cars backed up, and Jarno just got caught out and got put in the wall. James is catching. I don't think he's going to catch enough.
Well, is there going to be team orders?
I don't think. I wouldn't like to see team orders. When the champ... Oh, is that his Colpo going from moving Riceman into the high-speed chicane? He's pulled it off. But James currently is in an easy position to win the championship. As James does get a penalty now. Let's get a quick update. Does Fairs have any penalties?
So, I have confirmation of what happened to Forever Spin. He changed direction too quickly on the chicane, overcorrected, and then he slid in rear first. It's because of the rear wing setup, and he had 38% worn rear tyres. So, just seems to lose the back end. As Branny is close to the battle. Oh, and Tim is close to the battle for 7th. As we ride on board with Thomas.
As Bogdan's AI car getting lapped. Robert very close to the back of Tom, and Tom quite close to the back of Godzilla. A good battle here for
as Kimi is in
a net P3. Where's Kimi going to come out? And
he's
Kimi has gone to the softs.
Behind this battle.
Is he going to be in front of Kyle?
Just.
I think it might. No, he's not going to be ahead of Kyle. He's going to be behind this battle. He may not be in the points.
Very close to the back of.
And he's going to go for the move on Branny up the inside. He's going to go for it.
Oh,
will there be contact? Ooh. As Thomas with a 3-second time penalty there.
Thomas, don't throw away P7 because of penalties.
Yeah.
Let's see, does Branny have any penalties?
P7, that's 6 points. That would put him on 7 points and take him out of relegation. Thomas,
Kimi
I don't think he's going to get put in the relegation zone. Look, he's currently... I know he might lose his place because he's got Tim, he's got Branny, he's got Kimi behind him.
Thomas has 3 penalties.
Look at the pace he has, though. He's got the pace, I think, to get out that relegation zone. If he hadn't got all these penalties,
he does. Because I don't know if I could beat him in the relegation battle. As Tom
do you know who that current...
No! Sorry.
That's a reset to track from Godzilla. That's a reset to track from Godzilla.
Again.
And Tom is up into P3. What happened there is Robert has wing damage.
As Tom spun him round, and Robert hit the spun pass of Godzilla. as will Tim go for a move on Thomas? Thomas in P6 right now.
That is Robert who has pitted to get a new wing. Pitted. Thomas up to P6.
It's
now, if Godzilla does get a 10-second time penalty, he's not that. He's just about 12 seconds behind Godzilla. If Godzilla gets a 10-second time penalty, I know Thomas has got all his penalties, but you never know. As Tim goes to the inside, that's a bit of a. I feel Thomas would have had all in his right there to just turn across Tim's front end. Tim has barely had his front wheel alongside Thomas's rear wheel, which in that case, if Tim had then spun Thomas, that would have been Tim's fault.
I told you, after the Tim incident, that Tom on the podium.
Yeah. Unless Tom calls that crash and gets a penalty. You never know.
They were side by side, and Tom was...
Jimmy's going to go for a move for Branny. Will he go for it to the last chicane? Has he got the grip? Not quite. He's got the grip, but I don't think he wanted to go for that sort of move so early in the stint.
Will Tim go for a move? We've seen multiple spins here already. Tim and Yana being one of them as he makes the move. That's Carl up in P5. Good driving from him.
Yano's still in P10. I feel like Thomas is going to throw away points here on penalties.
He has a 5 second and 2 3 seconds.
Thomas. Honestly, a late safety car could save him in some aspects, because that could serve as 5-second time penalty.
If there's a safety car, I think Kimi could get up to 3rd.
Because he wouldn't have to pit. He wouldn't have to pit when everyone else did.
I think he'll have to get up. He can get up to 3rd because he has no penalties.
I think he would still
if
pit.
If it finishes on the safety car, Kimi's laughing.
Yeah, but I don't think it would.
No.
I think the best strategy here, if in the event... Oh, is that Tim? Is that Tim going for a move? No, not quite. As Kyle with a penalty. That was a corner cut there from Kyle. And
as Scott says, in the words of Charles Leclerc, I am stupid.
Does he have a clip of it? Because I would like to see that crash. That was a big one.
Same. Send it to Reverse Crashes or whatever that's called.
Oh, Tim's wide. Oh, that was close. As a sector 3 yellow, it's Max.
Mulder.
Is that a brake failure? That could have been a brake failure as he's gone deep into that runoff area. He's been struggling with his brakes. And he said that he's going to fix it, but
Thomas
maybe failed. Oh, and he's going to come across the front. That's quite dangerous rejoining, but like he is a ghost. Is his brake working again?
Kyle could get swamped on this straight.
Is that his full brake pressure when he was pushing down then? I'm going to stay on board with him so I can see his telemetry for a bit. If that's him pushing down fully, then his brake is not working. But we need to see a heavy braking zone.
As Tim goes for a move on Kyle, as Kimi goes for a move on Thomas.
It's hard to tell, because I don't think he's pushing down fully.
Thomas down in P8 now. I think
he might be just trying to avoid a lockup.
I don't think Thomas is going to get points.
As Bogdan's in the pit lane.
But Godzilla is going to lose P4.
As Riceman in the pit lane gets a 5-second time for speeding in the pits.
Well, I didn't do anything. As Thomas is really falling off the back now.
And James is catching fares rapidly.
What is Robert's penalties like? He's got 1 warning. So, I don't think Thomas is going to finish in the points.
Oh, Thomas. It's disappointing to see him throwing away everything on penalties, but he's got the pace now. So now, before he was just throwing away P10, whereas now that he's got the pace to get like top 6, maybe even he can get 6th place on a good day.
As Kimi now with a move on Kyle, there are still yellows in sector 1. I do not know what for.
As that is Kyle battling with Kimi. There's no way he's going to be able to hold up Kimi though.
And Branny
as Kimi's
Thomas.
next victim will be Tim.
Branny goes very wide. Oh, there's going to be loads of penalties, isn't there?
Kimi's going to struggle on his tyres at the end of this stint, so he needs to make the moves now whilst he has the fresh tyres.
Do you think Kimi is quick enough to catch and overtake Tim?
I think he's quick enough to overtake Tim. He's not going to be quick enough to hold the position, though. Because right at the moment they're about matching each other's lap times. Looking at the gap, it's basically sitting at 1 second.
Jackson, you know what I find funny with some of these drivers' helmets?
What's that?
They don't match their car. I have real OCD making my helmet match my car.
Same.
Like if you look at Kimmy's, Kyle's, Thomas's.
To be honest though, I tend to have one personal helmet that may be slightly different. But then I usually, like, for example, when I was doing reserve races, I always used my personal helmet, which is white, blue and black.
Sector 3 yellow.
As here we go. I'm just having a quick look at Scott's video here.
Can you send it to me?
It's in the F1 banter chat.
Let's have a look.
I'll look at the racing then whilst you have a look at the crash.
As Yano and Branny are... Yano dives down the inside of Branny. Oh, is there contact? I still don't know why Scott uses that view, but...
Oh my, that was an unusual crash.
It's unlucky.
That's a very he just slapped the barrier.
It is very unlucky that he just clipped it, kind of.
It reminds me of Alex Albon's crash. He lost the rear, he caught the rear, he lost the rear, and then bang into the back.
I think if he corrected it earlier, he wouldn't have lost a wheel. As Kimmy has caught up to Tim.
Well, if he had spun, I reckon he wouldn't have lost a wheel as well.
Yeah.
If he had just lost it on the first slide.
But he wasn't really battling for points anyway, so...
Sadly.
We know he's a quick driver, but...
This is domination from Mercedes, by the way, at this stage of the race.
Yeah. As James has caught Fairs by 3 seconds since last time we checked. As Yano close to the back of Thomas. Will Kimmy make a move on Tim? Does
not down this
straight,
have
any penalties?
I think Kimmy has to make the move in the next within a lap.
Doesn't have any penalties.
As Yano
James
gets Thomas.
Does.
Will Thomas fight back? These two have a lot of history. Thomas is fighting back. These two have a history of making contact, and Yano maintains the position.
Like me and Thomas.
Just sliding that one in there, are you?
Which is never my fault, I add.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. The 2 times he spun you, it wasn't your fault.
Ooh, it's Colpo and Robert.
Colpo and Robert, wheel to wheel. Literally wheel to wheel.
Spin for the 3rd time this race, he will not. Branny is close to the back of Thomas.
Your mic's just gone weird, by the way. Oh, Robert wide. Robert in the ball! Heavily in the barriers. He's lost his wing.
Is my mic fine?
It sounds a bit roboty. I don't know why.
Let me quickly adjust. Yeah. I was checking my mic. What is that for?
As Thomas pitting, the Mercedes couldn't pit. The Mercedes gonna have to pit the next lap. Will that be okay? Will they lose
they've got a
time
19-second gap.
Good point. Good point. As Tom pits, this has changed everything. I mean, Thomas has got no chance of points now. Who?
Tom. Oh no,
Tom's on
soft. Kimmy in.
As Tim hasn't pitted. Tim has risked it and he hasn't pitted. To be honest, I don't blame him. The way his race was going, risking it was probably the best idea.
For a chocolate biscuit, Thomas is in.
As drive-through penalty for Iceman speeding under safety car.
As Thomas takes a 5-second time penalty, I don't know what for. I think it was for his.
That was the speeding in the pit lane penalty.
So,
that was
Thomas has 6 seconds of penalties.
I mean, he's in a better situation than he was, but there's gonna have to be another crash for him to get a good result.
Can the Mercedes pit?
Yes, but this is just given.
James has to back up a bit.
This could help James. This could help James a lot.
Yeah, James is backing up. Oh no, he's not.
No, it doesn't matter because there's no one behind, so he's not going to lose a position. And Fairs doesn't pit. Fairs has surrendered to lead the race. I don't believe this.
Wow.
Mercedes team orders. Fairs just given James the win. I mean, that is just... James had the title. All he had to do was beat him.
Unless it wasn't team orders and Fairs just didn't realise he had a big enough gap.
I mean, there was no need not to pit. Fairs just... And now he's going to be stuck behind the safety car. It's over for him. Surely there is no way he can hold up James on fresh tyres. He was losing time when James was on the older tyres. That is... If that was team orders, I'm disgusted by the Mercedes team there. He was about to win. James could have won the title here, and he was looking on to win the title here with 2 races left this season. There was literally no reason for team orders. Fairs has 1 career win, and Mercedes have just said, you know what, you're not allowed another.
Has Colpo got any penalties? No. Branny, a 5-second and a 3-second. So if Thomas can stick to the back of Branny with at least 2 seconds... Bolton's AI just got a 5-second time penalty. If, yeah, he can stick within 2 seconds of Branny, then he'll keep a point.
As Tom is ahead of Tim.
Kyle has got a lot of penalties. He's got 1, 2, 3, so he's got 9 seconds of penalties. So I think Thomas could get Kyle and... Imagine
Colpo, Yano, Tim, Godzilla, and Fairs are all the drivers not to pit. This is going to be... Now, I mean, there's lapped cars in the way, to be fair. There are 3 lapped cars.
The lap cars must go through next lap.
Oh, no, they won't let them... The game, I don't think, lets them through.
Why not, game?
I know. So James is watching 3 ghosted cars in front of him.
Well, James just needs to go through them. If he wants any hope in overtaking Fairs.
Wait a minute. Unless Mercedes are doing a racing point from last season Monaco, which, to be fair, in that case, they lost the win. They only got 2-3.
I do not know what that is.
Okay, last season, Racing Point, it was the same situation. Like, really late race safety car around Monaco. Both Racing Points, because the rest of the field was quite close behind them, only the 2nd place Racing Point pitted.
Yeah.
That gave... Tim. Tim has just spun behind the safety car. What the hell was that?
He has done a Grosjean.
I'm sorry, Roman, what's happened there? He's broken his wing, I think.
Wasn't it Robert that caused the safety car?
Yes, it was. He had a massive crash. He lost all of his wing, which is probably why, for debris sort of thing.
Yeah, Tim, that's very strange.
Tim now out of the points, and surely... I mean, the safety car's going to be in this lap.
Or is
this
it?
Is
Will it randomly
Thomas...
stay out?
Well, nah, it won't stay out till the end.
Thomas
but
could get a point.
Okay, basically, a racing point from last season was that one driver stayed on old tyres, the other one pitted for fresh tyres, and the car behind, safety car is in this lap. The car behind, instead of overtaking the car in front, especially seeing as it was Monaco, they sat behind and just followed their teammate. Because they knew the cars behind them that were also on fresh tyres wouldn't be able to pass them because they were on fresh tyres, so that would balance out. And as long as they didn't pass their teammate in front, there wouldn't be a... So they sort of agreed, I'll just defend you. Was that where they didn't
use DRS?
Yeah, that was where... I think there's Manu behind Ivan.
Has Tim spun again? No. I'm
going to keep an eye on...
with a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
I'm going to keep an eye on Fairs' speeds, just to get an idea of what speeds that they're doing behind the safety car.
30 miles per hour. As he's going.
Tim just jumps up into 10th, which is a bit weird, and he's dropping... Okay. As it's green. James already...
5 seconds behind.
As it is now, go. Is there cars... As that is Tom going to go for the move on Godzilla, straight past him. Godzilla surely in a drop.
Thomas Colpo with another point. Thomas!
As that's Tim off in a big way. That was
needs to stop getting penalties.
Tim is just gone straight on, and Tim straight on there. What the hell happened there? Sector 1 yellow flags. As this is a crazy restart here. It's good Tom. if Tom can get past his lap cuts and James is doing a stay behind your teammate, hold position, Tom could win this race. I mean, I don't understand why they both didn't pit. As our Iceman's been caught out by the ignoring blue flags thing.
Godzilla would have overtaken James if both of them pit.
If both of them pit, I don't think anyone would have overtaken James.
Because James came out.
It was like a 20-second lead.
Yeah, but he came out while Godzilla went past
that is
finish line.
doing donuts. Okay, as Robert is wheel to wheel with Thomas.
Okay, Tim, stop doing donuts now.
If in fact that was a deliberate crash there from Tim, that is a race ban. So Tim could be facing a race ban.
Did he just not turn his wheel?
He just went straight on twice, so I'm actually going to save. I was on board with him at the time, so I'm going to save it so I can look at the clip back afterwards, because you may not have caught it on stream.
Yeah, James doesn't look like he's going
battle here for 4th place. James, it looks like he is just going to sit behind his teammate.
Yep,
this could give Tom a chance
so nobody can overtake.
Okay, so Tim, stop if you're listening to the stream.
Kyle. Can Kyle get past Godzilla now? No, he cannot.
No, he can't. Oh, we got a bit of oversteer there. This could give Kimmy the... Oh, Max has spun in front of them there. Lucky he was in Ghost. Oh, that could have caused a monumental crash.
This is a massive battle. But I'm going to watch James and Fez as Tim is disqualified.
Good. Good. As
Will
I'm
James
keeping an eye on this
move?
midfield battle. As that is Kyle going to go for the move now on Godzilla into the high-speed chicane. He's going to get it before the corner, I think. As Godzilla holds it around the outside. Oh, there was almost contact. Godzilla straight on. Looks like he was squeezing through there by Kyle. And he's going to come back on track. Thomas up into P10. If Godzilla drops back, Thomas could get 1 point here.
Godzilla will have a 10-second time penalty.
Yeah, he will. So Thomas is going to get a point.
Oh, Fez! Fez! And James has spun!
James has... What's happened there? It's his 2nd time this race. James has spun. Did you catch that on stream?
No, I didn't. I was watching the battle. But they collided.
As Fez wins the race. Kimmy 2nd.
Will Thomas get a point? No, he's not.
P3.
Wait.
Robert,
yes.
P4.
Thomas will get
P5.
a point.
James, P6, and I missed the rest. I think there's a...
Thomas will get another point. He has doubled his point scoring tally.
I mean,
well done,
what a
Thomas.
race. And I'd like to say congratulations to Fez for his 2nd ever career win, and his 2nd win this season.
Tim race ban, he went straight on and now doing donuts on the race.
Who said that?
Clint. Straight race ban, he thinks.
Mm.
Do you agree? I do.
Yeah. It's definitely possible. So, Kimmy getting 2nd. It's been a while since we've seen Kimmy getting a result like that, and it's good to see him up there. We could have a lot of penalties to review today.
Can you get the... Okay, here are the timings, Thomas. Don't get angry at me.
And shall I get the lower timings?
Or... there aren't any, because it's just lapped cars.
Okay.
James broke late and rammed into Fez and hit again after Fez lost the back end. All I saw was Tom go right into the back of James because James was stopped on track. But Kimmy, driver of the day by a mile, 13th to 2nd.
Yeah, congratulations to Kimmy.
Wow.
Outstanding drive there. Not to get any penalties. That was crucial. Only 1.8 seconds off the win. Kimmy is just... He's either at the front or he's struggling. He's battling for points.
Crowned a new champion. Whoa.
I have a quick... Let's not say that yet, because I've just seen a quote. I saw Leon reset to track. But Tim was disqualified, so no one else can catch Leon. He already had the gap. He couldn't lose more than the point. So we have now crowned a new champion. Well, not a new champion. It's the same champion as last season. But congratulations to James on his 2nd Torpedo League championship. I hope you've enjoyed it. Congratulations there. For the 2nd season now, you have been the best driver and the driver to beat. You've not always been the quickest guy on track, but you've always been the quickest guy across the season. So, very strong, and thank you, James, for giving us a great battle, and at least taking it one race longer this season.
Yes.
So yes, we have to review many penalties. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll let Charlie end the stream.
Yeah.
You can do the outro as soon as
thank you all.
Do it.
And that's going to be it for Torpedo League F1 Round 10 for